Your Indiana Pacers are back home again. And welcome to the Central Indiana Sports Reports Central Indiana Scoreboard Show podcast number 292.1.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengelt.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, Central Indiana sports fans. Today is June 10, 2025. It is a Tuesday. It's another day for Central Indiana sports. So it's another day for the Central Indiana Sports Report. I'm your host, Greg Mengelt, podcasting today from headquarters in Jeffersonville, heading back to beautiful Stage 22 in Elwood in a couple of hours for some special podcasts. Producer Susie is in the control room. Coming up, Haliburton looks to take control of the finals. The Colts have a quarterback problem. Caitlin should be back soon. Westfield and Noblesville win local Boys Golf Sectional championships. The softball state finals are set. We had our first Stanley Cup game that didn't go into overtime, and it was ugly and violent. And we have a College Baseball World Series Cinderella. We have had and will have tons of Pacers coverage, plus all kinds of high school sports coverage the last couple of weeks. Go check it out. We'll have the NBA playoff report with John Robertson on Tuesday. We hope to have the Pacers report with Mike Rich on Wednesday. And then, of course, our reaction to Game 3 on Thursday. As you hear in the background, we are indeed back home again in Indiana. The NBA Finals shifts to Indianapolis for the first time in 25 years for Game 3 on Wednesday. The Pacers voodoo, or whatever it is that they do about every other game, stunned the Thunder in Game 1 on Tyrese Haliburton's latest heroics, bringing the Pacers from 15 points down to win it at the buzzer. Then a 123-107 Game 2 loss. Haliburton had decent stats in Game 2, but was clearly MIA for much of the contest. He'll be better in Game 3. We have 5 or 6 weeks of proof of that. He sounded after Game 2 like he's in the process of solving the Thunder like he did Milwaukee, Cleveland, and New York before. It's kind of hard to doubt him at this point.
I think through the course of a series, even in the games that you lose, you're trying to learn from them, see where you can get better. So we had some success there. Me, playing off the pitch a little bit more, flying around, rather than, if I'm in that high ball screen, which, I feel like I am really successful at, that gives them a chance to really load up, pack the paint. They got a couple steals in there. I had some really dumb turnovers tonight. They're kind of showing like a soft blitz, sometimes a full blitz. They're giving me different looks. So I got to do a better job and just figuring out where I can be better, and in that game in the second half when you're down by so much, you can choose to, just take the game for what it is and just be done, or, try to continue to learn different things. So, I think through the course of the series and already through these first 2 games, I'm learning, where my spots are, where I can be better. So we'll take the good and the bad, watch film, see where you can improve going into the next game.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander scored 34 points in Game 2 and surpassed Allen Iverson's all-time NBA record with 72 points in the first 2 games of the finals. He also tied Wilt Chamberlain's record of 9 straight playoff games with at least 30 points. It won't be easy for Haliburton to be the best player in the series, but he's probably going to have to be for the Pacers to win it. Anthony Richardson has been sidelined for the Colts minicamp with a shoulder injury that does not seem good. It's the same AC joint that he had repaired in 2023. Since then, he's also had a concussion, an oblique injury, and he has back issues. Albert Breer on the Rich Eisen show Monday said, "Here's a reason for Colts fans to be concerned."
Anthony Richardson. This is the outgrowth of an injury in 2023. He hasn't had a procedure on it, a second procedure on it. He had the first procedure, but he hasn't had another surgery on it. But it was the second day of OTAs that they shut him down. He's going to go visit with Dr. Neil Elatrash. I believe that's going to happen this week to go and get it checked out.
Oh, you don't want to hear that name, man.
And Elatrash was the one who did the surgery initially. So it's one of those, Rich, where it's like, when you're talking about like the soreness coming back in the shoulder, and no, he hasn't had surgery yet, but he's going to have more opinions on it. It just gets you worried, so I would say I take both of them very seriously because, anything to do with the quarterback's throwing shoulder, elbow, wrist, whatever is serious. But, when it's a repeat thing, that's where it's like, oh boy, it seems, at least right now, like there's a really good chance Daniel Jones is going to be the starting quarterback for the Colts in Week 1, and Anthony Richardson faces a lot of uncertainty going forwards.
This opens the door for Daniel Jones at quarterback, but it's Daniel Jones. Eli Edwards predicted that Riley Leonard might be the starting quarterback by the end of this year. That might come to fruition. I still kind of believe in Anthony Richardson. I see something in him. But if it doesn't work out with Anthony Richardson, here's my advice to the new Colts ownership. Blow it up, ladies. Minicamp runs through Thursday. We'll have updates on what happens between now and then on the Central Indiana Scoreboard show. The Colts' 42nd season in Indianapolis kicks off in September against Miami in Indianapolis. Caitlin Clark will miss her 5th straight game Tuesday. That's the bad news, but it's mostly good news for the Indiana Fever. Number one, they've won their last 2 games without Clark, one of the front runners for league MVP entering the season. Number 2, she should be back very soon. On Sunday, head coach Stephanie White said Clark is ramping things up to return. She's been out since May 24th when she sustained a quad injury against the Liberty. The Fever are also expecting Sophie Cunningham to return soon from a nagging ankle injury. Even without Clark, the Fever are 2-0 in the WNBA Commissioner's Cup, which is played during the NBA Finals for a $100,000 prize pool, and are tied atop the standings with New York after beating the Sky by 27 points on Saturday evening. There are 6 teams in the East, 6 teams in the West. They play a round robin in the Commissioner's Cup. The team with the best record in the East plays the team with the best record in the West on July 31st for the Commissioner Cup Championship. In the West, Minnesota is 3-0. Defending champion Vegas has a loss already. The Fever can go 3-0 with a win over the Dream on Tuesday in College Park, Georgia. It's already the 3rd Fever Dream matchup of the season. The 2 teams won on each other's floors. I think it was the maybe 2nd and 3rd games of the season. Commissioner's Cup games also count toward the regular season record. Noblesville's 5th golfer shot a 78. Hamilton Southeastern shot a 79. That was the difference in the Noblesville Sectional Team Championship Monday at Harbor Trees, as the number 3 Millers knocked off the 2-time defending sectional champions. 16 golfers shot 79 or better at Monday sectional. 10 of those were Millers and Royals. Those 2 dominated the field. Hamilton Southeastern's Kai Warner edged Noblesville's Dustin Turpin and Lapel's Owen Garber by a stroke to win the individual sectional championship. Garber, Fisher's Tommy Klinker, and Tipton's Preston Lancaster advance as individuals to the Muncie Regional at TPC on Thursday. Noblesville and Hamilton Southeastern will be joined by 18th ranked Pendleton Heights, which shot a team 310, 2 shots better than Fisher's for the final team transfer spot. Number 1 Westfield beat number 8 Carmel by 7 strokes to win the Westfield Sectional at Ulan Country Club in Lebanon. Westfield's Will Harvey shot an 18-hole 67 to win medalist honors by 3 strokes over Garin Catholic's Eli Wessel. Number 12 Zionsville edged number 5 Garin Catholic by 2 strokes for the final team transfer spot to Friday's Lafayette Regional at Coyote Crossing. However, Garin Catholic will have 2 individuals advancing in Wessel and Robbie Burt. Lebanon's Harper Brown is the other to advance from a team that did not. Western won its 7th sectional championship in the last 12 years, beating rival Northwestern by 3 strokes to win the Peru sectional at Rock Hollow. However, Northwestern's Hudson Whaley beat Western's Callan Zerdsey in a playoff to win the individual sectional championship. Lewis Cass also advanced as a team to the regional at Stonehenge in Warsaw. Southwood was 4th as a team and had Griffin Chambers advance as an individual. Peru was 5th as a team and had Maddox Bretzman advance. Kokomo was 6th as a team and had Ashton Goff advanced. All of them shot 81 or better. 16th ranked Warsaw won the sectional it hosted at Eagle Glen, also by the better 5th player. The Tigers and rival Plymouth both shot 313s with their top 4 golfers. Northfield's Tyler Bear shot a 70, 4 shots better than Warsaw's Bricklin Christner for the sectional championship. Bear, Wawassee's Hudson Kripe, and Huntington North's Javin Gray advanced individually to the Warsaw Regional on Thursday. Harrison won the Lafayette Jeff Sectional Championship at Battleground, beating Central Catholic by 5 strokes for the program's first sectional championship since 2019. West Lafayette will join Harrison and Central Catholic at the Lafayette Regional, the only regional of the 8 across the state that will be played on Friday. Harrison's Trevor Chin beat a trio of players by a stroke to win the individual crown. Clinton Central's Camden Price was the top advancing individual golfer. Brebeuf won the Brebeuf Sectional at the Golf Club of Indiana in Whitestown. The Braves beat Speedway by 17 strokes for their 4th straight sectional championship. They took 3 of the top 4 individual spots, including Ryan Bangert's medalist 70. Number 4 Center Grove, number 13 Franklin, and Greenwood advanced from the Franklin Central Sectional. It's the 27th sectional title for the Trojans, and Center Grove's Nathan Springer was the medalist. Sectionals at Hawkstail in Greenfield, Hickory Hills in Parker City, Foxcliff in Martinsville, and Holman Links in Terre Haute were all postponed to Tuesday because of the weather. We'll have results for you on Wednesday's Central Indiana Scoreboard show for all of those. After a 2-day rain delay, Clay City became the 8th and final team to reach the IHSA softball state finals, shutting down Lutheran 3-0 behind Lindsay Sender's 2-hit shutout and Carly Smith's big day at the plate. The 7th-ranked Eels will open the state finals Friday at Purdue against number 4 North Newton at 5:30 for the Class A state championship. That'll be followed by the 4A state championship, which is number 4 Crown Point against number 2 Center Grove. That game's expected to start at 8 o'clock. The final 2 games of the softball season will be played on Saturday. In Class 2A, it's number 1 Tecumseh against number 3 Andrean, and what should be a good one. Andrean, of course, knocked off Alexandria in extra innings in the first round of the semi-state on Saturday. The 2A championship game will be played at 4:30. Then the final game of the softball season will be 3A number 1 Cathedral against unranked Hanover Central for the Class 3A state championship game. First pitch of that one is expected to be 7 o'clock.
seconds into game 3. Well, there was going to be a penalty call. Rostarina took a stick right in the face for an elbow by Draisaitl, and then Hungry on the puck.
That was John Forsland and Eddie Olczyk on the call of the first of 6 goals scored by 6 different Florida Panthers in a brawl-filled 6-1 win over Edmonton on Monday. Brad Marchand, as you heard there, scored 56 seconds into Game 3. Carter Verhaeghe added a goal late in the first period, and the Panthers responded to the Oilers' only goal, scored by Corey Perry on a power play, with back-to-back goals over the next 6 minutes of the second period. Aaron Ekblad, or as producer Susie and I call him, Aaron Eggplant, because that's what it sounds like every time they say it on the game, put the game away with a goal 3 minutes into the final period. The rest of the third was basically a brawl on skates. The defending champion Panthers can take control of the series with a Game 4 win Thursday in Miami, or of course the Oilers can tie it up. Face-off is at 8 and can be seen on TNT or the Max app.
2 outs, the 2-2. Ground ball to first. Ball game. Murray State has done it. Upset in Durham. The Racers race on to Omaha. Summer continues for Murray State. Great pitching outing all the way around. Offense was just enough. Murray State's going to Omaha for the first time in their history.
The College Baseball World Series has a Cinderella, and her name is Murray State. That was Clay Matvick and former Major League Baseball star Greg Olson on the call of Murray State's 5-4 victory over Duke in Game 3 of the Best of 3 Super Regional in Durham. The Racers are the 8th and final team to punch their ticket to the World Series, which begins Friday in Omaha. The Racers trailed 3-2 in the 7th when Jonathan Hogarth's home run tied the game. In the 8th, Luke Misstone's home run gave them the lead, and Dan Talkin's RBI double gave them the cushion that they eventually needed. The World Series will be played in 2 brackets. Bracket champions will be determined through 2 4-team double elimination tournaments. The 2 bracket winners will play each other in a best-of-3 series Saturday, June 21st, Sunday, June 22nd, and Monday, June 23rd if necessary. The Racers will take on number 15 UCLA, the Big Ten's representative in the World Series, at 2 o'clock on Saturday, with number 3 Arkansas and number 6 LSU, the other 2 teams in bracket 2 with the Racers and the Bruins. The World Series gets underway Friday with Arizona against number 13 Coastal Carolina at 2 o'clock. Of course, Arizona lost to North Carolina 18-2 in Game 1 of their series before winning Games 2 and 3. Then it'll be Louisville against number 8 Oregon at 7 o'clock. Those games are in bracket 1. Give me Arkansas over Louisville in 3 games in the World Series Championship.
Grounded, pass it, and a base hit. Wave is on. Stevenson scores. Steer stop sign to third. Throw to second. Caught by Martinez. Opposite way double for Connor Joe. The Reds lead 7-4, second and third.
Well, with a fastball up and away, Connor Joe, he just slaps it right down the right field line.
That, of course, is the great announcing duo of John Sadak and Jeff Brantley of the Reds TV broadcast team. Earlier in the 7-4 win, TJ Friedel and Jake Fraley both homered as the Reds won in Cleveland for their 4th straight win. Game 2 of 3 of the series is Tuesday at 6:40. The series closes Wednesday afternoon. Cincinnati has made up ground on the rest of the division the last 2 days. While the Reds have been winning, the Cubs, Cardinals, and Brewers have both lost their last 2 games. The Reds are now 6.5 back of the Cubs, who are 4 ahead of the Cardinals and 5.5 ahead of the defending champion Brewers at the top of the National League Central standings. Out west in the National League, the Dodgers beat the Padres 8-7 in 10 innings and now lead San Diego by 2 games atop the NL West standings. We will have the Major League Baseball report with Cody Emerson and Uncle Paul for you sometime in the next couple of days, kind of depending on what happens with our Pacers coverage and our guy Mike Rich being on active duty in the Army. We don't know exactly what the content we're going to be able to have. So we'll fit the Major League Baseball report in there. And one of the highlights of my week is talking baseball with my Uncle Paul and with Cody Emerson. A couple of news and notes. The American men's soccer team faces Switzerland Tuesday night in Nashville. The match begins at 8 and can be seen on TNT or the Max app. I am no longer have any kind of expectations for this underachieving mess of a team whose best players don't even show up. IU first baseman Jake Hanley was named first-team freshman All-American Monday, an honor presented by the National Collegiate Baseball Writers Association. Hanley batted .333 in his first season in Bloomington with 52 runs scored, 48 RBIs, and 14 home runs. He was one of 34 freshmen in the nation to be recognized, and he is IU's 10th player since 2019 to earn the honor. Earlier in the week, Hanley, Cooper Malamazian, and Will Moore were all named to the All-Big Ten freshman team. And now you know everything we know about Central Indiana sports. That's your daily update. Please become a subscriber, a follower, a liker, whatever. Just search Central Indiana Sports Report at YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, or SoundCloud, and let us continue updating you on Central Indiana Sports Report every single day of the week with your audio sports section. The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media. And I love Susie.